Should I buy Battlefield 2042? Is Battlefield 2042 worth the money? Is the game still broken? Have DICE fixed it yet? I get these kind of questions regularly on stream, so today I decided to dedicate a little video to this. And, well, the answer might surprise some of you, and some of you may not like it. So is the game worth it or not? Well... Oh shit. Crash? Yes, just piss off and close. It kind of gets complicated, so I'm going to approach this from two different perspectives here. First of all, we have these so-called Battlefield veterans, those people out there who have played every Battlefield game to date, and what they were looking for from Battlefield 2042 was a proper Battlefield game that will hold true to the core elements of the Battlefield franchise. The other person may not necessarily be a Battlefield franchise veteran, but they may have played Call of Duty. Maybe for them, this is a game that they've heard of. They've maybe heard of Battlefield and DICE, but they've never dipped their toes into the Battlefield franchise, and they thought, hey, maybe I'm going to go ahead and pick up Battlefield 2042 now that the games are out on Steam. So I think if you're a veteran of the series and you're looking for that game that was promised the successor of Battlefield 4, the next great modern Battlefield game, you're most likely going to be disappointed with Battlefield 2042. Now that's not to say there isn't any fun to be had in the game, right? I still play the game, I've had my fair share of fun, and I'm a Battlefield veteran, or it's sounding kind of cheesy, honestly, calling myself a veteran here. I've played the previous games, right? I've spent my fair share of time playing them, I've made tons of videos about them and whatnot, so I like to think at least I have some experience in that department, but even I still have fun in Battlefield 2042. Is it that Battlefield experience that I dreamt of when I saw the trailer and the rendezvous and all those memories came flooding back to me? No, of course it isn't. It's a big letdown in that department, but it's not the worst game ever, like people paint it to be. And if you go and look at the Steam reviews, it is overwhelmingly negative, and I can understand why people just run for the hills when they see those reviews. Now, a lot of people say that this is a Battlefield game in name only, and it's lacking all of the core fundamentals. And I suppose it depends on which way you look at it. You could, on the one hand, say, well, it does have, big scale vehicle combat, it's got the different weapons, it's got big maps with big player bases. Isn't that really all that Battlefield is? But if you're a Battlefield player and you actually go and play the game, you will notice that it feels sort of soulless. Actually, I did a little video on this, mainly sort of focusing on the jet gameplay the other day, that was simply called Battlefield 2042 Feels Soulless, and the reason I didn't talk in that video is because I wanted the gameplay and the music to try to reflect how I feel when I fly a jet in Battlefield 4 versus how I feel when I fly in 2042. The game just feels like it doesn't have that special sauce, that Battlefield special feeling. It's really hard to describe. I know you guys are going to be like, well, this isn't really helping me much, Ghost, but if you go and try the game out for yourself and you're a veteran, you'll probably know what I'm referring to. It's just missing the atmosphere, the grit, the feeling. I don't really know how to convey it if you haven't played the game for yourself. So if you're a Battlefield veteran and you're coming from past games and you're thinking, I haven't played the game, I've heard bad things about it, is it worth picking up or can I skip it? I would probably say even at 50% discount, which I think it's actually on Steam at the moment. Yeah, it's on discount on Steam right now. I would safely say you can skip it. Just pretty much forget about this one and wait for the next release. There is a super slim chance that DICE are going to change things enough and add enough content into the game that it might be worth a look if you already own the game. But honestly, most of the things they're going to change are not going to evolve the game in any fundamental kind of way. It's not going to bring back that same atmosphere, that same feeling. They're not going to go and overhaul the graphics. They're not going to go and overhaul the vehicle mechanics and all those sorts of things, right? Now, on the other hand, if you're the kind of player who isn't too familiar with Battlefield, maybe you've heard of Battlefield, you've heard of DICE, and with this iteration of the game, you thought maybe it's time to buy a Battlefield game and see what it's all about. Is this going to be a worthwhile purchase for you, and will you have fun in the game? Honestly, you might do. As a game in and of itself, it's far from the worst game out there, despite what people paint it to be. I've definitely had fun playing the game. It's just that the past Battlefield games were so great, so fantastic, that this one doesn't really hold a candle to them. However, I would say maybe wait till the game is, on like $20 instead of $60. It's definitely not worth the full $60 price tag. I would argue it's not even worth 50% off at $30. So maybe wait for like 15 or 20. Around there, I can definitely, maybe recommend giving it a go. Try to keep in mind that you can refund the game at least on Steam within the first 2 hours of playtime, and a lot of people have chosen to do that. Something else to keep in mind is that currently, at the time of the making of this video, player counts are pretty low. On Steam, there's only around 2,500 players at the peak playing every day. So no idea how many people you've got playing on console, but even with crossplay enabled and all the platforms coming together, honestly, I think we're talking about maybe 10, 20, 30,000 players. So there really aren't a lot of other players there, and I see daily reports of people having trouble getting into games. So my advice would honestly be to wait until Season 1 releases. I believe that is hopefully going to be at the earliest in June, the latest August if some of the rumours going around are to be believed, but the official word from DICE is early summer. Let's wait and see what they've got planned for the game, how much content they're going to drop, and almost more importantly, how much of the player base comes back, because it's that player number that is kind of going to dictate if you're actually going to be able to find a game to play. I'm almost 100% certain that when they do drop this big Season 1 release, they are going to put the game on sale for sure. So even though the game is on sale right now, you're probably not really losing out on waiting until the sale with Season 1. That will, definitely be a 50% off discount, if not more so. Hopefully it's going to be like 66% and the game will drop down to $20. Honestly, I hope that's the case, not just for you guys out there maybe looking to pick up the game to save yourself some money, but also for my sake and anybody else left playing 2042's sake, because that means more players and that's a good thing for everybody. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the situation. Anyone can feel free to chime in down below and let me know what you guys think, if it's worth it or not. But hopefully this was helpful to at least somebody out there. And now when I get asked this on stream, I can just point them in the direction of this video instead. So, hey, win-win. Anyway, if you guys have any more questions about this subject, feel free to come catch me over on Twitch and have a chat to me there. You can find the link in the description down below. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.